The paper title is The Training and Development of Elite Sprint Performance, an Integration of Scientific and Best Practice Literature. It is authored by the Thomas Hogan, Stephen Sello, Ovin Samba, and Espen Tonison. It was published in Sport Medicine that opened in 2019.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am Nur Alia Binti Idrus and my metric number is 2023365551. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we will explore the topic of elite sprint performance and the underlying training approaches. Alright, we will start the presentation by identifying the main issue. So, what is the main problem here? The main problem is that there is a large gap between what is known about sprint training from science and what elite coaches and athletes really do in their practice. Next, we go to the challenges in this topic. The first one is limited knowledge of the training process. Despite the extensive research conducted in the field of sprint training, there is a notable deficiency in our understanding of the intricate training methods that are essential for achieving elite sprint performance. The current body of scientific literature primarily concentrates on the young athlete that involved in team sport and their performance in short, which is the maximal intensity sprints. This focus failed to capture the broader spectrum of training distances, intensity, and recovery period that are integral to the training regimen of the elite sprinters. Next, we move on to the second challenge, which is the differences between science and application. There is a substantial discrepancy between the theoretical approaches that presented in scientific literature and the practical application of training concepts in the real world. Scientific study often adopt a reductionist approach that isolating and examining the single variable under controlled conditions. Lastly, we go to the third challenge, which is customized training. The process of creating a personalized training program for an individual athlete is highly complex and multifaceted. It necessitates a detailed consideration of multitude of factors, including the athlete body type and their current exercise level or gender or any injury or recovery status, and lastly their force velocity profile. The scientific literature may not provide sufficient guidance on how to effectively tailor the training program to meet the standard of need of each athlete. This lack of personalized approach in the literature can hinder the development of training programs that are optimized for individual athletes and potentially limiting their performance and will increasing the risk of injury. Next, we go to the solution. To overcome these challenges, the first solution is we need to reducing the distance between science and practice. The study suggests a collaborative approach that integrates the expertise of elite coaches with scientific findings. It recommends tracking elite sprinters throughout their training year to identify effective techniques and evaluate various periodization models to determine the most effective approach. Next, the second solution is we need to individualization of training, which is the study emphasizes the importance of personalized training programs that consider an athlete's physical characteristic, training status, gender, recovery or injury status, and lastly, first velocity profile. This customized approach is crucial for maximizing the training loads and minimize the injury risk. Next, we go to the third solution, which is the Progressive Overload and Injury Prevention Program. The study advocates for a gradual increase in training load that allowing for adequate recovery and a systematic approach to increase the training load over time, which is particularly during the transition from the off-season to the competitive season that can manage injury risk. As we end here, in conclusion, the study by Hogan provides a comprehensive analysis of the training and development of elite sprint performance. It underscores the need for a collaborative approach between science and practice, the individualization of training program, and the implementation of progressive overload and injury prevention strategy. By bridging the gap between theory and practice, we can enhance our understanding of effective sprint training method and support the athlete in achieving their peak performance. Thank you, and that's all from me. If you have any question, you can ask me by commenting on the section comment, and I will answer the question by replying your comment.